Hi, Andrea.
Hi, Scott. How are you?
Hi, everyone.
Hey, everybody.
How's everyone doing today? Mystery theater time.
That's right. Everyone's excited, including us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, um,
Woo-hoo.
anyway, I wanted to share something. So today, with the terrible shooting, the other day in Texas, and it's been on my mind. And so I watch, when I'm driving and whatnot, I always listen to videos, you and Debbie or whoever, spiritual, trying to learn always and tap in. So yeah, I would listen to something, and then I have autoplay on my phone. Why it came up, I have no idea because it was not related. The video of the Europe, the final countdown song, came up as the next one. It had nothing related to politics or whatever. Made no sense why it come up.
Hmm.
So we're talking about gun laws and everything like that. If you listen to the song, the words go, "We're leaving together, but still it's farewell. And maybe we'll come back to Earth. Who can tell? I guess there is no one to blame. We're leaving ground. Will things ever be the same again? It's the final countdown."
Hmm.
And you think about that, they're
Yeah.
leaving together. I'm like, this is a message. It's the
Yeah.
final countdown of all this horror.
Ugh. Amen to that. Amen
And
to that.
so eventually, we will get these laws. Justice will be coming to these Republicans that need to get out this craziness. But I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, it popped up and started playing while I was driving. I'm like, and I heard that song because I was thinking of these kids
Yeah.
and the parents and the horror, right? And we're leaving together. It's kind of like what's going on in Ukraine. I mean, it's horrifying, but when the souls leave together, there's a mission.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like when we read on the that explosion in that mine.
Mm-hmm.
They left for a mission. There
Yeah.
was new laws in place for mines. Enough is
Right.
enough.
Yeah.
So that was the message I was getting from that, and I thought it was
That's
pretty
really,
incredible.
that's pretty incredible, very spiritual and extremely moving. Um,
I
and
mean,
I
there's
pray that
always a
that's it.
purpose. There's always a contract. It's you know, it's senseless, but there is a grand purpose, a bigger purpose.
Mm.
Those poor souls aren't going to die, but oof. But I was inspired by that because I had been sad, and I'm sure everyone else has been sad too.
Oh, it's unbearable. It's just unbearable what happened.
Oh my
If it doesn't change the gun
God.
laws, I don't know what can. Like, what else? Like, how many more times?
And
Any let's all just pray for the change that absolutely has to come.
it has to come, and it will.
It will.
Uh, Unfortunately, it may, and then I drop all my cards. Then it
Scott,
may.
Renee's noticed your new face business you got going on.
Hey, you like the tin music?
He was telling me all about it backstage, ladies. So, hang on to your shorts because there's more to come. Scott's
I do a funny one.
Scott's going to be doing some face accessorizing.
Try new luck. Put some more wisdom into my soul. I can't believe all the cards just fell down. So we got
Well,
a few. Do you like the topics tonight there, Andrea, I picked out?
you have a very, as always, a very interesting, excellent list.
One list was given to by, hi, Amy, our friend Ian. And he said his grandfather or great grandfather, I can't remember which, had a best friend that passed in. Let's bring it up. I want to start with that one.
Okay.
Chrome tab. The 5th Norfolk Battalion. And this battalion disappeared without a trace in World War I. It was known as like because King Edward VII brought these people together. They were kind of like the King's Army, and they were going into Turkey. Yeah, and going into battle there. And reports say they just disappeared.
Yeah.
Now, there's other articles I read. They may have found 2 people in a grave. Other articles say that no, there was no one found. There was no army found. And there was also talks of reports. How many people was there? 16 officers and 250 men. On July 30th, 1915, a regiment set out from Liverpool, arriving the 10th of August. Only 2 days after their arrival, got an order to launch an attack against the Turks, which ended up being a bad decision. Some of the men were in poor condition, sickness, seasickness, lack of sleep, Top of everything else, poor supplies, inaccurate maps, lack of water. Just a bad campaign altogether.
Yeah.
But there was something else. What was it? A blue mist or some kind of cloud came up about the same time they went missing. So that led to like conspiracy theory thoughts of were they taken by extraterrestrials?
Yeah. It's always very
Uh,
curious when a large group of people go missing, and we've read on quite a few of these before. Ships or whatever, or a group of people see something. Uh, how does a whole battalion go missing?
I know, right?
No trace, right? There's no trace.
I'm trying to find that quick if I can, where it talks about this mist or cloud or whatever. Well, the men missing or killed, supposedly, none of their bodies, according to this article, none of the bodies were ever recovered.
Yeah.
Were they held hostage and killed in the camp and buried, or met some other bizarre fate? No one knows. Okay, bring you back. Anyone else say anything about this one? Okay.
I mean, if their ship was shot down, like like bombed, and then they sank, you would think another ship would have seen it or heard something, or the ship that did it would have said something. Like, how did it just disappear?
Well, supposedly they were walking, and they came up on like a tree line, and supposedly there was a firefight that went on.
Okay.
But then there was reports that came back. None of the people were found. And so there was also reports of this cloud or this mist that came over everything, and all of a sudden no one was found. So it led to speculation that, well, maybe they were abducted or taken, maybe saved from catastrophe. And then there was other reports, they must have been taken captive and all murdered, executed, and then buried in a big, a big hole in the ground or something.
250 men. Like you think
That's a
that
lot
the
of
other
men.
side would have said something or someone would have found something. I don't know. That's just
Nothing.
a lot of people to go missing.
Still, well, let's see what your cards, these fabulous
Mhm.
cards, have to say first. What
All right.
happened to the 5th Battalion? Okay, Ian says something here. He's
Okay.
here. Nice. They all walked into the forest and never came back. No bodies were found. Yes, there was a mist. Even the Turks could not explain it. Thank
Wow.
you.
There you go. Very, very strange.
Oh, hi, Nora.
Okay.
Holly. Let's see what Miss Andrea's cards have to say first. The 5th Battalion in Norfolk. Hey, Hugger Rita. Is that you, Teresa? Hiding behind Hugger? Ooh, they're angels. Of course, it's a cold case. Ooh. Ooh. White light universe.
Yeah, something's going on.
Negative. And I got the CIA card. Fall. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. What do you think?
I think we discussed Scott's new face accessory, but we forgot to bring up I got my nails done.
Oh, purdy.
I got fake nails, so I'm just feeling excited, everybody. That's my new accessory. All right.
Aha. Thought so.
So I have the men upside down, confused, off course. In that moment, they were definitely not in the right direction. Then we have this taken away, upside down. In that moment, they were complete. Yeah, like something just really. I have them off balance. I have a surprise that came out of nowhere. So this white light, there you got the white light too. And it was very shocking to them. This thing that happened. I have the sun, and this I'm gonna take as a trail or something very strange. And then new and crown upside down. New. Flip their world upside down.
This is what I got.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah. It flipped their world, like everything they understood, just. And that would be ETs would certainly flip your world around.
Yeah, it's something. It's kind of like they hit a portal or something. That's what happened. At that time, was the CIA around, or was it the Pinkertons?
Oh,
I didn't
thank you.
show it, but I did have Andrea's card of all the CIA, the dark kind of groups. Let's see what the tarot has to say here. Uh-oh. Magenta Clan Woman got the extraterrestrial card as well.
Oh.
future and past on top of each other, like a
So
time warp. I'm in agreement there.
we see the fight, the enemies, the battle. Then a sweet offer from a leader and time did the, let's say it was aliens, did they offer to take all these men away from this terrible situation they were in? Was it some type of offer to get them out of this war? And not an offer like we would understand. I'm talking
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, good
we'll
question,
save you
Amy.
from this. No, they saved them from it. Okay.
Hangman suspension. I have a message happen quick with the tower. Very energetic action. They were taken all together. Ooh.
You think they were marching into certain death and they were saved?
Yeah.
Do you think they were marching into an ambush or something and they were saved collectively? I'm kind of feeling something like that, where they were being saved from destruction, chaos, quickly. Yes.
The problem is, though, my ending doesn't show they survived, though. You know, it may have been saving from horrific bullets and whatnot, but
Do you think it was a portal like we saw with the others, that some of them didn't make it through the portal? Remember on the Bermuda Triangle?
I'm not showing any survived.
Any of them.
I mean, it feels like they were
15th Battalion.
I have a better balance, but I had, like I said, I had the tower. I had the hangman tower, 9 of coins, and 9 of cups. So 9 of cups is a group to me. It's a party, you know. We got a bunch of people together. 9 of coins is your balance, your chakras, everything good. But then I had the hangman and tower, which is like suspension, time warp towers, a drastic change that happened quick. But the end, with all this energy they incurred, I had the 10 of swords. The energy transfer and everything with the 10 of swords. And then united on the other side with spirit. King of cups and 4 of wands. So I don't see it as they, you know, survived and come back. It just feels like it saved a brutal murder rather than.
I think they also stumbled. They somehow stumbled into this area where there was I'm getting alien activity. I'm with the pendulum now. So yeah, I see that they didn't survive either.
That's what Linda got. She got the black card.
Maybe they didn't survive the transmission, like the moving them. Was it that? Did they? I know.
I don't know, I've always sensed that, like, if you're gonna be abducted or go into a different dimension, you need a time frame to adjust. And when it's quick like that, you're not going to adjust.
It didn't adjust, and maybe the air was different or something where they went, and they just didn't make it.
It's like
and that's why their bodies aren't there.
All these reports, you know, like all these people have talked about having the abduction experiencer it's only 4 hours max, losing 2 to 4 hours of time. It's like our bodies can't survive longer than that without some kind of DNA change. So when you hit a different kind of time warp or anything,
Yeah. I think they stumbled into something otherworldly.
similar like that, Renee. It's like you just can't handle over time. Well, I understand it's awful, Gina, but it's actually a more pleasant passing than being shoveled with bullets or mortar fire and passing that way.
Yeah, I think they walked through a time hole or warp or portal, and they didn't survive the other side because, like you said, it was too quick and there wasn't a time to climatize, and then that's why their bodies aren't in the forest, because they literally weren't there. But that blue smoke was the portal, that opening up.
Strange. So strange.
Wow.
Crazy. Okay. But yeah, 200 and what?
250, I think you said.
262 or
Plus
something
that,
like that,
yeah.
people. Yeah, plus a few officers. Okay. Radiation. Where'd that go? I'm trying to get rid of it. Let's do Time Warp again. Rocky Horror Picture Show. Oh, lordy. Which one next? Okay. Okay.
You're welcome, Ian. I wish we had better news.
I mean,
they made it out of trouble, but they didn't end up surviving where they landed. So, right.
But if you think about it, there's really no other explanation that 260 people disappear.
Yeah.
And even with one article I read that maybe 2 people were found is crazy. Okay. Next here we have the tale of the Ulfberth sword. The Viking sword. So this type of sword has never been able to be recreated without special tools. One guy I seen on a video or something did recreate it, but it was very difficult. The metal in there was so pure. Through carbon dating, there's been, I don't know, approximately a couple hundred, maybe 1,000 found, or 170 of these swords are supposed to have been found. And these date back to the 9th and 10th centuries, the Vikings. The metal is so pure, these swords still baffle weapon experts today, who wonder what technology was available at that time to produce such high-quality blades.
Mm-hmm.
These swords were strong, light, flexible, and sharp. And supposedly, like when you swing them and hit something, they would not chip. And even like today, if someone would make a perfect sword, it would be like no one could afford to buy them, except the wealthy. Their one-handed swords were pommels assembled with a double-edged straight blades. Vikings used them to fight one-handed and then hold a shield on the other hand, which created a dangerous situation for the enemy. Some experts claim, they may have came from Germany. because of the high levels of arsenic found in the iron. We saw after. Apparently, the blade was so sharp and the iron was so strong you could cut through bones and other cheaper blades, shattering them like glass.
Jeez.
And the only reason they found them because many of the Viking warriors were buried with their swords.
Right.
The thing is, the ore would have to be heated up to 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit to remove all the impurities. As far as we know, there was no technology back then to create 300 degrees Fahrenheit, let alone the metal, the process at all. Another one. How were these? Oh, sorry, Gina. Didn't mean to have that up. How were these swords created?
Yes.
Back in the 9th and 10th centuries. Yeah, I was looking. Yeah, it could be like the Excalibur. I didn't notice in any articles. Maybe Ian would know more if those families received compensation. They were part of King Edward's. I don't know. Aries girl. Well, probably more alien activity, right?
Well, it is curious with the metal, for sure. The purity of the metal does make me wonder.
Oh. I guess Ian just commented that I guess they were compensated and taken care of the families. That's good. Okay, Hiley feels they were made by one person and given the technology from other sources.
Okay, how were these swords made?
Hey, Marby. I wonder if it was a scenario kind of like in all those ancient civilizations, there was extraterrestrial among the bunch. Oh. Ian says Scandinavia had a bunch of volcano eruptions. Maybe the lava flow is enough heat.
Huh. So the first car that came flying out was the ruler. So I'm just checking here with the pendulum, and I got that, yes, a specific ruler ordered these to be made. So a certain king, a certain leader. Then I have this wild woman, and I asked if this was some type of like medicine woman or wizard or some kind of, witch or something who presided over the making of this metal. And I got a yes with that. So the leader wanted a better sword for his foolish soldiers. He didn't want any more bloodshed of his soldiers. I don't know if his were the best soldiers, but he wanted a weapon that they could use. So they melted rocks in a hole with this fire. And I guess this is what I'm getting. She presided over this, whatever she was doing. And then they gathered up the metal out of the fire pit. I'm getting kind of a wild story, but that's what I'm getting. So some kind of mysticism around it with the person who was helping make it. Not a medicine woman, but you know what I mean, like a
Yeah. Well, I'm getting
priestess. Oh, like a priestess.
I'm getting some kind of magician.
Yeah, like that.
Knew
Exactly.
how to do this. And there was some kind of protection just for the Vikings. For their victory, their illumination. I don't see multiple people creating these swords. It was like one person. I'm trying to
Like
figure
one
out.
person had the spell. It's like a spell almost, or a casting of something over it as they were making it. So I'm getting, yeah, like
the dragon breathed on
possibly.
them. They were considered outcasts. Holly said they were considered outcasts. Okay.
Yeah, like a sorceress, a wizard, a priestess, or somebody who did some kind of spell over the metal, or obviously I don't know the complete details. And the king wanted, or the leader of the Vikings wanted his people or his soldiers to have like this incredible weapon, almost flawless, right? Like no matter how drunk or stupid his soldiers was, they could cut through anything. Mm.
I'm trying to figure out what this means. But this magician, I grabbed my Lord of the Rings deck specifically. So this Wheel of Fortune has an anvil there and a creator,
Yeah.
and some kind of creation there, and we think back in the Lord of the Rings. If you watch that movie, there was some kind of fire and brimstone in the earth. Like the One Ring holds it all, whatever.
Yeah.
But somehow this magician could, and I got my Earth card, the Queen of Coins. This is my Earth card. So there's something to do, and here's more rings. Because what they're showing me, it's not like you start a fire. It's kind of like the area opens up to, to have that fire, to have that heat. It's similar to what Elon was maybe saying. It's like volcano, but I don't sense volcano. But I don't sense a lot of people around. It's like, I don't know who's in charge of the Vikings. I don't know, but
Definitely something special about the fire, whether the priestess threw chemicals on the fire to make it even hotter or did some sort of spell or something like that. I'm definitely getting yes with the pendulum on that. So the fire was also part of the process. The fire was an important part of this process.
the magician had a dragon. Is a dragon on my magician? He had a fire. He had a fire on the end of his wand.
Yeah.
A little blurry, but there's a fire there.
I'm not getting a dragon though, but
No,
definitely the fire of a dragon, like the heat, the intensity.
there's all kinds of swords. Well, no, there's some kind of secret process. I had the moon coming out in the hangman, but This is really a difficult one, actually, because I also have death coming out too, which is weird. But the moon and hangman, well, the hangman's got fire here too in my Lord of the Rings. And then the moon is spells, something mystical. Let's see what your deck has to say, because I'm not really sensing it was like ET, extraterrestrial kind of knowledge. It feels like a fallen angel or an ascended master knew how to do this for the Vikings, to me. Oh, Andrea had a dragon card. Okay. Yeah. They just get the right temperature, they can create. Crazy bears. Thank you, Robin. Viking fighters were called berserkers.
Berserkers? Crazy bears. Huh?
Berserkers.
When you said like an ascended master archangel or somebody knew, I got a yes with the pendulum as soon as you said that. So something of higher authority, someone with higher knowledge knew about how to make this fire. So whether it was the priestess tapping into that knowledge, do you know what I mean? Like you're right. It was someone getting that answer.
Well, thank you, Holly, for that confirmation.
So yeah, not an archangel, but an angel. Yes.
But yeah, somehow this person, this magician, had to tap into something else.
Yes. Yes.
You know, when you talk into death, you're talking to spirits, you're talking, spell casting, whatever, something like that. But this magician, this person, I did have a 3 of Cups too, which could mean there was two other people helping out kind of feeling, because there's coordination there.
This is a fascinating one. I like this one because it's got layers of everything.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's like obvious, but this isn't quite as obvious. Okay. Some kind of friendship to the side. Communications. Okay, yeah, this I wonder, I had to read more. Who are the Vikings led by? Yeah.
You mean like who's their king or leader?
Yeah. Who are the Vikings kings? Do you remember or heard?
I don't think
because I got something about the king, but then your chakra card, your balance, friendship, and communications, which I think is communications from above, kind of sensing, but there's some kind of higher power, king, crown, using the crown chakras, energy, using energy of the crown chakra to create fire.
Yes, that's exactly what we're saying. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. So they tapped into a higher knowledge and were able to create this fire.
Odin the god. Odin is their god. Well, they tapped into this. They tapped into something. And I think it has to, wait a minute. Are you kidding me? I missed that.
Nice one.
Nice name. Yeah, it's a running joke on this page.
Yes.
Not a troll. That's fine. It's just funny.
That's funny.
We had the, if you've been around a while, we had that running joke of the cave hole.
And fairy circles.
Oh, it's Sterling Rose. I thought I recognized that.
Yes, the
Picture.
picture. Yes.
Oh heck, that was funny. Yeah, so maybe we ought to have a dream meetup to the Vikings, the
I
Viking
thought you were going
time.
to say to the cave hole.
No, this to see what this magician tapped into to create these swords. Figure out where they were all located at in Scandinavia or something.
That's funny.
You're a riot. Bless you. We needed that one.
Yes, always a good one to have a nice laugh.
Lordy.
Well, that was a cool one with the sword.
Yeah,
Unexpected.
very unexpected.
Yeah,
I like it. I like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
Oh, a dream made up to the Australian rock. I think that's part of the chakras.
I'm pretty sure that's a toxic area.
What is that, Australian rock?
Yeah, I think if they've buried some toxic things under that and put that big boulder over it.
Oh, you mean that part of the ley lines, part of the earth chakras, that rock?
I think that might be it.
Put in my car fast.
Ooh, good one. You just reminded me about something.
Ooh, what was that?
The ley lines. Where's my book? Ugh, where is it? It was just here. Oh, it's here. Okay. I'm always researching stuff on my own and studying, so I just.
The study's good. You sit back in your haunches and play with your cats. You can't learn a thing.
Exactly. Well, they do teach me a lot, but that's different. They teach me love.
I know. I'm trying to get the family to get me another kitty or dog.
Aww.
The ones we have are just, they're loners. I miss the ones that want to sit in your lap and purr and cuddle.
Get yourself a ragdoll cat. They just sit on your laps. They don't.
Well, there's 3 other family members that have to be okay with that process.
Okay. Ragdolls are really cute. They're really beautiful cats.
And still, they're like two's enough. 1 dog, 1 cat. That's all the family wants right now. Like I said, the only time my cat Benny wants to attack me is when I'm trying to leave for work. I gotta avoid him walking out. Otherwise, I'll get step on that little boy.
Oh.
He's a silly one.
Here's the ragdolls. Ragdolls are these ones. So, they've got those sort of raccoon face.
Mm-hmm.
They're usually very fluffy, and they usually just sit on you.
Oh, kind of looks like Siamese a little bit, except fluffy.
Maybe a little bit Siamese. They're beautiful cats, long hair. They're beautiful cats, and the ragdolls are very, very low temperament, like just really just like a cushion. They're like a cushion.
Sue says they're a little pricey if you can find them.
Yeah, they're expensive unless you can find someone who's. Yeah, they're show cats. Snowshoe cat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, snowshoe. I had 2 snowshoes for a long time. One was 19 and one was 17 when they passed. They passed before I moved where I am now. They're my farmhouse cats. Jeff just got out of work. Long day, buddy. Which one do you want to do next? What are we at? 44? Let's see. Share. Okay. This might be a little bit. Let's talk about space particles.
Let's get into science.
So I seen I seen Nancy Jean and Sheila talked about it a little bit with a different on their channel, or maybe put on both their channels. But anyway, well, I know Holly, right? I love my own good old barn cats. Bring them in the house; they're so loving. So mainly, I wanted to touch this. I mean, it's kind of interesting. Like I was seeing, there's another story. Let's see. I better go to it. All right. There was a story about. I wonder if it was in here. I think it was in the bottom. If it was.
This is particles from coming from outer space that affect things on Earth, like our electronics and things like that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's a. I'm just going to go by memory. There was maybe it was another article, but um there was an election that happened, and it couldn't be explained why this woman got 620 votes in this election. It was beyond how many people were even in that town. So they were going back and looked into it, did a recount and everything, and they found that she only got like 30 some votes. What they found out is that cosmic radiation, subatomic particles coming to Earth affected the certain code to flip to that many votes, affected the chips.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just crazy. I wonder, I can't remember. It was in one of these articles. I can't remember if it was this one or another one. It might be in this one. But anyway, it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of the same thing that when we get these massive solar flares and sun explosions and all that comes to Earth, it affects electronics, it affects satellites, that solar energy coming, or the space particles coming to Earth that took down a bunch of Elon Musk's Starlink. A bunch of them come down, got hit by solar winds and solar particles. And what I noticed of myself, anytime there's massive particles coming in from solar flares or even certain intense moon energies, it's kind of like my connection to spirit is kind of like off. I can't figure it out. It's kind of like all this extra energy either is affecting me or upgrading me. I'm not sure which, but it just feels like it's It's not every full moon. And then I was researching more. When we have a full moon too, that changes the electrical particles coming to Earth and the magnetism within the Earth when we have a full moon. Hence, that's why tides are changing, people act weird, because the magnetism is changed when the alignment of the sun and moon is there, and the same thing from solar particles and extra electrons and everything come crashing to Earth. So, like, I get all these reports of different times when these solar flares are coming, those mass corona explosions in the sun.
Yeah.
And they hit. And every time it happens, especially this last one, just before this last full moon, it was a doozy. It was a big one. When you look up in NASA and they talk about it, I truly felt like I was cut off from spirit. I just felt like I couldn't tap in at all. And then we got over this last full moon, it feels like I was totally tapped in again. I could see thing, I was hearing, but then it was like, I'm just like, wow. I'm like, it's weird. It's like my antenna to spirit is when this extra stuff coming crashing to earth from the,
Kind of blocks. Yeah.
it blocks. It's really strange. It's just like when you ask questions or someone else asks a question, it's like it's dead. It's like I'm normal again or whatever, I might want to say, where I'm not. It could be a recharge. It could be absorbing energy. So the biggest question about, um, did you read the article? Is there a, oh shoot, that unexpand? What the heck happened here? Oh, come on. What happened?
There we are. So you want to see if
Oh,
it's deliberate or is it just a solar flare? Is it coming from aliens? What do you want to check?
When I read more through the article, there was some talk of all this subatomic particles coming to Earth, and when it's really intense, it does change the magnetic, because everything about the Earth is about magnetism.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, Beth! Hey! I haven't seen you in a long time, girlfriend.
Look who it is. It's Beth.
Hey, shout out to Beth, a local space girl. How you been? So there has been some talk that, what I've been reading, NASA and scientists, whatever, could it really be affecting Earth if we get too much of the subatomic particles coming from space? Because it's changing the magnetic poles and shifting and creating. It could be creating, maybe this is partially what's creating the weather pattern changes beyond what we're doing with fossil fuels and whatnot. That was one of the biggest questions, and I wanted to just share about what I sense, and I was wondering if anyone else sensed anything different with, when you are in that full moon period. It's not every full moon. It's only like 2 or 3 during the year. Like this last one, the pink moon, those blue moon, whatever. Those different moon cycles really, I feel different. Just like not connected as much. And then, especially when we get all those solar, what do they call them, corona explosions or whatever, that, those solar flares, but they call them corona mass.
The corona, yeah.
When that big energy comes, it's kind of like for like 2-3 days, it's like I'm disconnected. It's really weird. That was when everyone else did, but so basically, are these subatomic particles affecting Earth to a degree that's going to hurt us?
Okay.
With climate change and weather patterns, our atmosphere. Wishing Well says moon cycles affect me different than solar. I think that it's two. Holly thinks it's normal. Earth changes. We'll just have to adjust. Dang, I miss you, Beth. It's been like a year, girlfriend.
I know, it's been months and months and months.
What's your fabulous?
For sure, I think that there's the solar flares or whatever's happening from the sun, and it sends energy our way, like these particles you're talking about. And 100%, I believe it affects us. I believe it affects our communication devices, and that not only our hardware, but in here too. This communication device, our head, our sensory perception.
No, our telepathy is off. I don't even feel you some days.
I know.
This way,
So I agree. Yes. And it makes sense. I mean, this stuff is very powerful. The sun is extremely powerful. And I bet we don't even understand it all yet, right? The scientists probably don't understand the whole deal with the sun, etc. All right.
Oh, Lordy. 6 days a
Oh,
week,
Beth.
10 hours a day. Everything changed. Madness.
Oh, well, sending you
Oh.
lots of energy for your busy life. It looks like you're a busy gal. All right. Solar flares.
Connected. TikTok. And time.
Well, there they are coming down. Zoom, zoom.
Cross. Trying to figure out what your cards mean here. Spend more times outdoors. Guilty. Okay, your
I'm
cards
getting a sense that the sun is angry. We'll say angry. She gets angry and she flares out. So these solar flares are a negative response to stimuli. Whether there's too much gas out there or whatever it's burning, I don't know. But there's it's a negative. Like the sun is trying to expel extra energy.
Where'd it
And
go?
then it's us, and we do feel it. So there you go. You got the bullseye with the orange card, and orange is how we feel. So we do feel the effects of it when it comes down. So it's almost like, you know, if you eat too much and you're full and you gotta what? Same with the sun. I think maybe there's too much energy in the sun or something, and it expels, right? It has to balance itself. So it's expelling. And that goes out into the universe, and we are one of the places it may connect with. Beth has Wednesdays off, so she can be here. Well, that's perfect. That worked out nicely, Beth. Oops.
Your cards have me confused about what I'm supposed to say. I mean, I feel the negative energy from these. I got the gray card, and then it feels like coming down from the. But then I have this is the card that I feel like's a boost. It's the greenish one.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like an upgrade booth, spiritual path, part of the process. And then I have your link together in time.
We might know in time. We might be able to link it together in time because we don't understand it now. And by we, I don't mean you and I mean
right.
The humans. Okay. So.
Then I got your directional card, so that would feel like that does throw things off balance until things are normal again.
It's drawn.
Even things way back in the universe affect us eventually when it comes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these particles are coming, and then they talk about these muon or muton particles. They're bigger than like neutrons and whatnot. Right, Linda. These universal particles affect people and devices.
Yeah, it affects satellite systems. I'm just checking with the pendulum. We're getting satellite systems, cell phones. And then does it affect with our sixth sense? It does. It's because there's these extra particles out there, right?
Yeah. Topic more energy particles from space.
Oh, someone asked what the subject was.
Oh, yeah. So I'm not seeing and getting these extra particles are permanent, because it's kind of like when this is when I'm focusing on Mars light, because that rotates, right? it always brings back the balance. It always brings back to where you're going.
It's like a wave that goes.
Yeah, it's a wave, it's an adjustment. It
Yeah,
could have spiritual upgrades to it, because when you're off, even with an antenna, it wants to refocus,
it gets a message. It's going to get some messages. It might not be what you've asked.
right.
The antenna is going to receive something.
And it's like even the Earth, it will adjust because we have our magnetic poles, the magnetic resonance. Everything does adjust, even like with a full moon. When we pass the full moon, that cycles over and we start anew.
Yeah.
So I don't think any of these particles are going to permanently change anything. It's just part of the process, part of what happens.
It's just a change as the wave goes through. It's not a permanent, as you said.
It's like I guess I wanted to see. I mean, it's really interesting. I never seen that article before. It's always, it's been happening. Learning about these solar flares that are always coming and hitting things. And with you, I wanted to check and see what's going on, why it's affecting me so much. I mean, and if other people too are being affected.
I think we all get affected in different ways with different things, whether it's a full moon or retrograde or solar flares. Some of us are sensitive to all of it. Some of us are sensitive to some of it. Some of us don't notice anything at all. So I think it depends on sort of your own personal antenna and where that is and what it gets affected by.
Why are we talking about jellyfish with no testicles?
Yeah, I just saw that word, and I'm like, what?
What I miss?
Like,
we need you on the show here, Spirit, to explain what's going on. My son. Oh, okay. My son was watching a Discovery show about aliens being hid by the Soviet Union. Russia has the largest lake in the world. They decided to go to the bottom of the lake. When they reached the bottom of the lake, they ran into aliens, 6 feet tall, wearing a helmet and shaped like a jellyfish with no testicles. The seventh man came back to the surface of the water and told the Soviet Union that they had seen. The Soviet Union decided to send 7 men back down there to catch one. When they attempted to catch one of the aliens, an entity came out of nowhere and pushed them to the surface of the water so fast it took 3 of their lives. Whoa. Is that a story?
I guess that is.
Interesting. Your own astrological chart plays a large role in all of that as well. So yeah, that's interesting, but I was listening to I think it was Stephen Greer today. That popped up my feed too when I was driving. I was listening to Stephen Greer interview this one guy who said he caught glimpses of back in Area 51 and that crash when everything got moved, and he was talking about that he's seen the pictures, and he knew about the one extraterrestrial that survived for a few years, and he was talking about one doctor that was this guy that helped out. He was like multilingual, and he figured out how to communicate with him. And before he passed away, so supposedly got a lot of knowledge. But anyway, he was talking about, which I believe too, what I sense is that when you see one, they don't have testicles, or they don't show a vagina. It's internal. It's like it forms or it'll expose when it's needed. And that's what he was talking about when they did the what do you call it, autopsy. It's like they had no ears, but there was canal for hearing. They had no vocal cords, but it was there. And they were talking about. He was talking about they don't have the organs that we do. It's kind of like they have multiple. According to him, there's multiple stomachs, and like the heart and lungs were like one organ, kind of combined. There was we have 4 sections of our brain. They have like 11, according to what he was saying. Many of the parts of the brain are connected to the eyes, so there's something more about the eyes than just seeing. So maybe X-ray or something. Who knows? But yeah, it was very interesting what this guy was saying. But Stephen, I think it was on Stephen.
Linda.
What Linda say?
Depends on what time it is and what night it is and how much you've had to drink.
Well, what was that? One show, the little kid goes, "Boys have a penis and girls have a vagina." Yeah,
I don't know what's going on tonight, but it's all for entertainment purposes only.
Jellyfish with no testicles, or are you talking about tentacles? Anywho, all right. That's a story. Oh yeah, kindergarten cop. Thank you very much. Yes. All right, we can move on, huh?
A lot of anatomy discussions with tonight. I didn't know we were going to do that.
Another cave hole story. What time are we at? Oh,
clearly.
Let's see. What was the next one here? The Frog Boys.
Oh, interesting. Yes.
Okay. Let me go up. Where is it? All right. Someone requested this back. I remember I found it. I had it in a screenshot. The intriguing case and scandal heartbreak of the case of a bunch of Korean boys that went missing, and they labeled them the Frog Boys. When 5 boys didn't return to their village one day, the parents had to face the worst nightmare. What happened to them? This was in Daegu, South Korea. And the phone call came on the 4th day. I had the children. They're all suffering. 2 are very ill. Want a bunch of money. Well, that never occurred. It's still all this time. When the heck was it? Where is the date? This was a long time ago. 91, I think it was. The date's in there somewhere. Yeah. March 26, 91. Mm. They were all just outside playing. Seeing the 5 boys.
They were going to find lizard eggs, and
they went searching for lizard eggs.
Yeah, maybe up in the mountain. The one father said that the boy came back to get a warmer coat. He said, "Where are you going?" And I think he said maybe the kid said the mountain. So
yeah, we're going up the mountain. They wanted to find lizard or salamander eggs. There is an army base close. On the left.
When I hear mountain, I'm already suspicious because we know a lot of stuff goes on around the mountains with ETs and whatnots.
They did find the boys years later. Not far from.
Did.
Yeah, they did find the boys.
Oh, I thought they didn't find them.
Nope, they found them.
Okay.
But they found them later, pretty close to where they were searching. They just either missed them or they were brought back. But there's just they could never figure out what happened to the boys. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Their father keeps trying to find the part where it says.
Called them runaways, and the parents are like, no.
Yeah, they weren't runaways. Program plus turn out. The five fathers were determined to find these boys. They quit their jobs. Basically, this poor families basically destroyed their lives, pretty much trying to find their poor missing children. And they never got closure of what really happened.
Well, was there anything about them, like, that they could sense? Or was it, like, anything on their bodies that they could sense happened?
The person found out. The prayer bosses wondering. Okay, they're on the day that children went missing. One of the friends thought he heard a gunshot, and then a scream, and then there was silence. Went to a boy and asked if it was true, then heard a loud noise and said yes. So there is rumors about a gunshot. I remember reading there was. I mean, when they found the boys, they were so decayed. They were buried. I was gonna try to print off the important parts, but I had printer issues, so I'm not wasting time to find the right areas. Running away.
The remains were found on the mountain.
Yeah, there we go. A year after one of the father's deaths, 11 years after the boys' disappearance, their remains were found on the mountain. So September 26, 2002, they were tangled together in the area a couple kilometers from their village. When the parents arrived to see the bodies, there were only bones and some clothes were left. Of course, I started to cry. Guilt. On one child's remains, for example, were found with the trousers flipped over his shoulders and sleeves tied together. When the knot was untied, empty cartridges and unused bullets were found. They had to excavate really slow. They used I remember reading that, they used like a digger, but they had to go really slow so they didn't hurt the scene. There was mistakes made.
The cops did a bad job.
Yeah, the cops did a really bad job. They contaminated the scene or something. So they were pulling out the bones and arranging them and not keeping anything in order, so it contaminated the scene. So it was just basically horrifying. They never found out what happened. Authorities said they died of natural causes, but what about the bullet casings that was reported? So anyway, it's a long story. If you want to read about these frog boys, these 5 little boys that passed in 91, but we want to see what the story is.
Yeah, let's give these guys closure and see what happened.
See what we can get of what happened to these 5 little boys. There was one theory that there may have been a military person with their gun because it was really close to the military base where they do This is what another report I read, that it's pretty close to where they do their firing range. That maybe one was messing around and accidentally killed one, and then proceeded to get the rest of them. So they went, "Oh, get rid of that troll, big troll."
They probably heard what you guys were talking about earlier.
Wow, right?
Jellyfish and you know what, and things like that. Let me nope.
Jump on that troll.
All right. What you also have comment on the screen.
Oh, sorry. Kindergarten cop. Thank you. All right, the Frog Boys.
What happened to
Went to charge, lost. Oh. Wow. Magenta Clan woman, Marine. Her military card is the Knight of Wands. Well, I don't know if it was because I was looking at it, but I did get the Knight of Wands too. And the only other, my definite military card to me is the Knight of Swords. But I got the other two knights also, Knight of Cups, Knight of Coins. I think it's military. I'm not getting another person here with my card. I think the military did it and covered it up. Someone on that base. The weird thing is, I was thinking about that when I read it, that Tegu, I think my cousin was there in the army at that time.
Yeah, somebody knows about it, but the whistleblower card's upside down. They're not coming forward. I get the military card. May have been a military practice or something gone horribly wrong, and it's a cover up.
Yeah. I got the whistleblower too, walked away.
Yeah.
With
So
my
someone could have said something, but they didn't.
I'm not seeing it as on purpose.
No.
But the ending was on purpose. I think it was an accidental shooting. Heather got military before she even pulled the cards. Now, when I read the cards, that was my first instinct. Yeah. And as you said too, with the Wheel of Fortune, I think they tried to run too, like Linda. The Escape, Knight of Cups is angels coming down to take them.
The kid stumbled upon something. Like either a military area. They were in the wrong place at the wrong time. So I don't think they saw anything secret, but they stumbled.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they walked into a military training practice and hiding in a barn, and the soldiers were supposed to shoot the barn. Do you know what I mean? Like
something like that.
Yeah. Terrible, terrible mistake like that. Yeah, that's what I got. So it was accidental.
It was Linda got her pendulum and said it was the military, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
But the after effects cover up was on purpose.
Yes.
That's the bad thing.
And I also wouldn't be surprised if the messy crime scene wasn't also part
on purpose.
It, right? To make it just impossible.
Yeah. It's kind of like a secret kept for 11 years. That's not.
Well, imagine if the military said what had happened. Everyone would probably go nuts, so they didn't want to say anything. Even though it was not intentional. I do not see
Yeah.
that.
So yeah, when that happened, I was probably an hour train ride from there. 18 months earlier, I was in Korea there.
Oh my goodness.
An hour train ride on a different base. That was an Army base. I was in the Air Force. Oh, 120. I had another one logged in. You want to check that one too? You got plans?
Sure. Yeah, let's do it.
The last one's kind of weird. Let's see. Oops. There we go. Okay. Okay, we got this woman here. Catherine Cross. Born March 13th, 1899. Her nickname, and this is in Oklahoma, I'm thinking. Is that where it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was in Oklahoma, but on her gravestone, it's said that she was murdered by human wolves. And that was on her headstone. And made it a public supernatural figure, but the truth is sadder than fiction. No one knows what the actual truth is. Now, there's speculations that she may have had an abortion, which was illegal back then, but autopsies and whatnot have come to the conclusion that it was, what was the name they used? There's her headstone's been stolen a few times, and it says on there, murdered by human wolves.
She was only 18, and it was 1917.
Yeah. She was only like 18 and a half, yeah. And some people speculate it was likely from a botched abortion, kind of a cover-up. But they said in like the death report, whatever, trying to remember the term. No.
Well, one theory was that she said she was going to take her life. Another theory is that she went to this doctor and she had a procedure that went horribly wrong. Another is a sacrifice, church sacrifice. Like there's all kinds of strange.
Oh yeah, they're talking about the Ku Klux Klan or something too, mutilated her or something. Oh, botched procedure.
Yeah.
They keep saying it's either a botched procedure or something like that, but there was nothing ever said of, official. It was always something like there was something wrong. That's about it. The speculation is because of how the body was found, but it was never said how bad it was. She was obviously mutilated somehow. And that's why it became the theories of killed by human wolves. Although the myth has twisted the meaning of Catherine's headstone, made her a public supernatural figure, Catherine's nephew laid it out straight on what human wolves meant to the grieving family. My grandfather was probably trying to find some way of revealing his feelings about the doctor who performed the abortion. The only way he could do that was to compare it to some animal. So that's what someone else said.
Yeah, because human wolves is an interesting terminology.
But anyway, when you read the story, whatever, the body was found It never really said what in the article. And there's suspicions about the doctor.
Mm-hmm. The
So
doctor may have been guilty of a previous thing like that.
I don't know if I can.
But let's see what really happened, you know?
There's a lot of suspicion around this Dr. Yates. He was charged with murder.
He was charged with 2 murders and acquitted of both. So,
All right.
2 girls.
So anyway, yeah. Let's see what happened to Catherine Cross. What we get, how Catherine Cross passed. The botched abortion. Was the doctor, Cave Hole wants to know if the doctor was the father of the baby.
I'm getting definitely murdered by a man. So we have this how do you say it? Scythe or whatever.
I always call it the Revenge of the Sith.
Right. Oh, okay. And then you see
But,
he's watching. Maybe it could have been a stalker kind of thing. Maybe someone who'd been watching her. Let's see. Let's dig a little deeper.
Catherine Cross. Catherine Cross.
There she is. There he is. We have a letter upside down. Did she break up with someone? The Dear John letter. I don't want to see you anymore. He was very controlling. Wanted her under his influence.
Two of Pentacles, page 1. Holding on. World. Culmination of something. The anxiety. Burden. Jesus. Well, that's a weird throw. They didn't tell me about any guy. And you need to grab yours to clarify. If it was only the doctor, why use the plural form of wolf?
Because I think it was probably so horrendous, it probably looked like she was torn apart by human wolves. So I asked if it was the doctor, and I got a no. I asked, did she know this person? And I got a no. And I said, was this a man who had been watching her? And I got a yes. Was it a relative? Was not a relative. What's it?
I should write down her name.
Oh, he was younger. So it's not an older man, it's a younger man. Around her age. It's unrequited love or something, like, or he was obsessed with her, but I don't think she paid any mind to him. Was she pregnant? She was not pregnant.
No. Okay. What do you think about rejected lover?
What's this?
what I'm sensing is that she got killed for rejecting advances from someone.
Right, but she didn't know him. But this
Right.
person was trying to get her attention and she just didn't pay attention. And I see he killed her by the barn or in the barn or something like that.
Yeah. I'm getting this. I'm getting she. What made coward? No, female.
Yep. So she said no, not
Yeah, it
interested.
was all connected together. What was to be seen,
Yeah.
and then I had the spirit wisdom card for me. Yeah, and she wanted to leave.
Yeah.
Someone was trying to take power over her. Bad king. So I'm not getting pregnant. None of these cards say to me pregnancy.
No, she was not pregnant. I think he was one of the farmhands. He was a young
Yeah,
farmhand and
I'm
she
getting
just
like,
never paid any attention.
yeah,
She
there's some
didn't, she
kind of,
ignored him.
it feels like there was some kind of party going on or something, maybe. With the four of coins here, like work or something related, but there was some kind of party going on in advances. And then there was a culmination of something with the world, and then some huge anxieties going on.
So
She
he
decided
built
to
this up
take a
in his
different. She tried to take a different path of what was going on that evening, and then all craziness
yeah. This
happened.
guy was in his head and he wasn't right. He had invented this whole thing in his head that about her and she was it wasn't even reality. So that's what I see.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it.
Teresa. Yeah,
Yeah, she said something like that.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
I
I
think
see.
it was just because the way the body was probably found, it turned into this whole story of there was human wolves out there.
And I think it was by the barn or something, and he would have used some type of materials in the barn to do what
Yeah, you
made
got
her
the
look like
scythe.
she,
You got the scythe that can cause a lot of damage.
yeah. Um,
I got that.
that's how come he got away with it though?
If
Okay.
1900s, maybe not, no one's seen.
Yeah.
You know, no clues.
Oh, he didn't. I don't think he lived in the town, so he had a little bit of distance. But I think there was a fair or festival or something going on. That's where you get like a party, or you saw that a
My nine
fair.
o'clock, that's the party card. So I'm like, there's a big event. There's something
Yeah,
going on.
that's what I'm getting with the pendulum. So and he just had this in
Ooh.
his head, and
No,
geez,
I feel like Andrea's card came out with a scythe, the Sith, or whatever you want to call it. It looks more something like that.
and that's
Like
what they would have had to cut the wheat or whatever at the
the
time.
weed, yeah.
Yeah, how terrible, poor girl.
Yeah. I,
Exactly, Teresa. They had to make it all sort of, her fault. Either she was depressed or she was pregnant. None of that is the case.
yeah. Made up story.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting.
Well, at least we're telling her truth now for her.
So if it helps, Catherine Cross, your spirit, I that long ago, I'm pretty sure she's reincarnated because I don't sense her in spirit.
Mm,
But anyway, wherever you are now, Catherine Cross, I hope this helps.
yes. Mm.
Because that would be a long time to be in sadness about what happened to you.
No, you're right. She feels very light, so I do think you're right. She's either back or perfectly fine where she is.
Yeah, I don't. It's when you reincarnate to another life, you basically let all that go.
And none of it was her fault. So
Correct.
yeah.
It's very very similar to the Black Dahlia.
Yes, that's what I was thinking about when you mentioned the story. But
That's
yeah,
how it was
all
back
right.
then. Common thing. Yeah, call a woman a witch or something. To must have had to be done. All right.
We'll do a card of the day,
Yeah. Hey,
message of the
Beth.
day.
Have you seen these, Beth? I made some Oracle deck.
That's what I'm using.
Excellent.
You see, Danny and I used these the other day on the show on
Did
Dan. We did
you?
news, and we both used your cards for one of the questions.
Nice.
Nice.
I like. Helen of Troy. Beth would love to see us read on Helen of Troy.
That's funny, Beth. I almost picked Helen of Troy for Ladies' Night on Monday, but I didn't. So you must be in my head, or there's something about Helen of Troy we gotta.
Oh, that's not what I wanted.
A face that launched 1,000 ships. Helen of Troy, Helen of Sparta.
Oh, Magenta, yes. I created my extraterrestrial oracle deck. So far, I'm getting very nice responses. Everyone got burnt to the stake back then. Not everyone. Well, the ladies got burned to the stake, then there'd be no others because, women kind of have to be around to create life. These naughty men can't do it themselves.
Look at this one. Completion, destiny, and success.
Oh, Daddy,
I
like
love
that.
it. What a great message. So, a sense of completion, doing things, following your destiny, being successful. Beam me up.
Well, I usually like to grab top and bottom.
Hey, now.
So. Okay. The first one I got is our technology is great, but there is times we need to take time for ourselves. Get off the YouTube, get off the TikTok, whatever it is, get off the news, take time for ourselves, get into nature, if the weather's nice, But sometimes we got to get away. And the reason why I made that card mainly because of all the people that are obsessed with like watching other people.
Mm-hmm.
The problems with, Facebook, Instagram, people feeling bad about themselves, all that. And then also about, just technology. I mean, you can get obsessed with watching movies or just getting lost with technology, phones or otherwise. I created that one to expand your horizons beyond, read a book, take a walk, pet your dog,
Meditate.
Sometimes we need to escape. And my other one is you're not learning your life lessons. This little guy here is pointing at you. Hey, buddy, or hey, lady, you're not learning your lessons. So if you're in a rut, evaluate what you're not learning. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of these. Every part,
where you can get them.
You just email me and I'll send them out to you. Every one of them either has something to do with bad entities or female or male, energy ley lines, Reiki, crystals. This one here, like I found that picture, and this woman here is seeing a UFO. So let's say that one I kind of liked. It's kind of like, well, one, UFOs are real, right? People see them. It's like, oh, isn't it? But like, if you're going through an issue with a person or whatever, and you're having that intuition, like, well, or is he cheating, or is he not cheating, or this person really that bad, or whatever. Your intuition is telling you it's time to move on. That kind of feeling. So
That's right.
believe what your intuition is telling you. That's the way the picture was. It was a free picture. Heather goes, but she has no top on. It was a free picture from Adobe. I'm like, it's perfect. I just felt like you needed to use that one.
It's great.
It had nothing to do
Great
with
deck. I highly recommend.
but yeah, I thought it was. I like them. I thought it
Get
was a
your
pretty good.
Scott.
So yeah, if anyone wants them, I think I have maybe 10 to 15 left of the first 50 I purchased. It's a little bit of a discount if I purchase them, but I got maybe 15 left. But anyway, thank you.
Thanks, everybody. And Beth is back.
You're absolutely naked in the front of
Yeah.
the truth. There you go.
I'm so glad we saw Beth. Thank you, Beth, for showing up. We have been talking about you, wondering where you are.
There you go. Like Linda said, patience is a virtue. Timing is everything. Thank you everyone for joining us. It was a great time. Got to read some mysteries. Got to hang with Andrea again. And Sterling Rose is back. The normal.
Oh, who's that?
Yeah, who is that? I thought we had a cave hole earlier.
Oh, that was what's going on here?
Yeah, I know, right? We thought everyone took Beth away. No problems. Anyway, thank you very much for joining. Love, love.